Well, now that spring has arrived, we're seeing motorcycles on the roads once again, and we probably all need a little reminder to drive more cautiously, watching out for those bikers. Joining us actually, he's out on Highway 3 right now, and he's not in his motorcycle or on his motorcycle, he's in a truck, but he's here to talk to us today about motorcycle safety and awareness. It's Dallas Harty, who is the president of Southern Alberta Bikers. Good to have you back with us, Dallas. And it looks a little wet out there today. So, you're not out on your motorcycle today, but I bet you can't wait.
Oh, it's been a little bit of a different spring,
Yeah.
hit and miss. We've got a little riding in here and there, and just about the time we think Mother Nature is going to give us a break, she hits us again. So,
Yeah,
so
that is
hopefully,
called springtime in Southern Alberta. That's for
it
sure.
sure is. It
Okay,
sure is.
well, let's start off. This Saturday, your group is doing the annual Motorcycle Awareness and Teddy Bear Parade. And can any bikers join for this one? If so, when and where should they meet and what should they bring?
Yes, this ride is definitely open to all riders. We welcome riders from all groups, whatever the case may be. If you're riding a bike, come out and join us. We'll be getting together Saturday morning at 8 o'clock at Honker's Pub. Vicky and the crew there will be putting on breakfast for us from 8 till 9:30. And then at 9:30, we'll start forming up the parade and getting our blockers in place. And at 10 o'clock, we're going to take off on our parade through town. We'll actually be going straight north of Honkers up to 26th Avenue North. And we'll be going west on 26th Avenue over to 13th Street. And then we'll be dropping south on 13th Street. We'll go all the way down to 10th Avenue South, where we'll turn east and then head over into the south entrance of Chinook Regional Hospital, where we'll drop off all the teddy bears and the donations to the folks at Child Life Services there at Chinook Regional Hospital.
Oh, what a wonderful cause. How many riders do you usually get out for this kind of an event?
Well, you never know. The weather's the biggest factor, of course, and I've been involved with this for 15 to 20 years, and we've seen anywhere from, in the pouring rain, there's always some diehards. We've had as few as 5 or 10, and right up to, I believe one year we had 185 one year. But life gets busy, and generally we'll see anywhere from 75 to 125 bikes. So, but the more the merrier. We'd love to have, if we could get a couple hundred bikes out, would be absolutely perfect.
Okay, so Dallas, for any viewers who wonder what it is that makes people want to ride a motorcycle, or for anyone thinking about buying a bike, tell us why you love to ride.
It's just that open, out in the wind feeling. It's just the freedom, you don't have nothing around you. You're out in the open. Everything, as the scenery goes by, you're next to it. You're not. You don't have the glass and everything around you, as we call it, cages. You're out in the open, enjoying the weather, whether it's windy or whatever it is. It's just that joy of being out in the open, and the closest to the atmosphere that you get in the environment. You get all the smells, you get all the weather. If it's raining, you get the rain. If it's windy, you get the wind. But it's just that freedom. You put your cell phone in the saddlebag and just get out and enjoy that wide open
Yeah,
feeling.
just free like a bird, I guess.
Exactly. Yep.
Nice. Okay, so with all that, wonderful freedom feeling, there's also a danger involved, and the statistics tell us that driving a motorcycle is more dangerous than driving a car or a truck. So, what is the main issue? Is it that motorcycles are much less visible than other vehicles? I mean, we all kind of know that to be true, right?
Well, yeah, there definitely is that stigma around motorbikes, but the bike itself is only as safe as the person riding it. No different than a car. I guess one of the biggest factors, you only have two wheels, and it's things can go wrong real quick. And riding within your own ability is the biggest thing, and knowing your surroundings. Part of the problem is you'll see some riders that ride outside of their capabilities, and we're all guilty of that from time to time. But the biggest thing with the motorbikes is things can happen really quick, and the riding schools, and there's lots of things that you need to pay attention to and be a little bit more alert. Motorbikes stop differently, they accelerate differently, they turn differently. They're a completely different animal when it comes to handling and driving on the highway. And the biggest thing is learning and knowing, being knowledgeable about what you're riding a bike that is suitable for you and that you are capable of riding, and you know this bike. It's like a vehicle. In order to operate any vehicle properly, you need to know that vehicle that you're operating, and it's the same thing with a motorbike.
Now, from the driver's perspective in a car or a truck, what should a driver be on the lookout for? Like double checking blind spots, looking twice, just making sure that there's no motorcycles coming up behind you?
Well, the biggest thing is motorbikes are a little bit harder to see
Okay, yeah, of
than a
course.
than a four-wheel vehicle. There's one tail light. They take up basically a quarter of the footprint of your average vehicle, so they're a little bit harder to notice. So the biggest thing is just to be aware and keep an eye out for them, and know that we need to share the road. We all need to share the road together. It's a two-way street. I say this over and over and over again. We need to respect the four-wheelers, and they need to respect us. A motorbike is a registered and insured vehicle, just like any other vehicle, and used for work and pleasure, just like any other vehicle. So the biggest thing is just being aware that they're out there and to respect them like you would anybody else on the road.
Yeah. So when it comes to passing a motorcycle, is there a right way and a wrong way to do this?
In all reality, it's no different than passing any other vehicle. You should overtake a vehicle or a motorbike the same way you would overtake another vehicle. Quite often, we'll see, because it's a motorbike. A lot of times, when motorbikes know they're going to get passed, they'll move into the right side of the lane, and we'll notice that your four-wheel vehicles will ride the solid line instead of moving over into the other lane, just like they would for another vehicle. So it's important not to crowd the motorbike any differently, or any, like you would with any other vehicle. So in all reality, Jeanette, it's just like passing any other vehicle.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. That's got to be unnerving to see a car moving that close to you. And it's something that we perhaps forget about is that motorcycles have faster acceleration and can also slow down a lot quicker, can't they?
They can, being a smaller vehicle, lighter vehicle, they can stop quicker, they can take off quicker. But once again, that's the responsibility of the person riding the motorbike, and they have to be, respectful and considerate of the vehicles around them. If it's an appropriate place to do it, then that's fine. But we all have to respect the rules of the road and the laws and the vehicles around us.
Yeah. And now, so what are some basics, for motorcycle safety, some advice for motorcycle riders to stay safe?
The biggest thing is be aware of your surroundings, and make sure that you're riding a motorbike that you're comfortable with. Make sure that you fit the motorbike. Too often we'll see people riding motorbikes that are too big for them, as just, they can't sit with their feet on the ground properly. Maybe the bike's got more power than they're ready to operate. But just be aware and be comfortable with the bike you're on. Make sure that it's a bike suited for you and your ability level. Everybody advances as they get more and more knowledgeable um, in riding and more experience. Can graduate up to bigger bikes, etc. But the biggest thing is just being aware of the bike that you're riding and making sure that it's properly suited for you and your ability.
Okay, so with that said, where should your feet land when you're sitting, when you're straddling a bike like that? Should you be tippy toes? Not necessarily flat footed, right?
Well, it all depends who you talk to, Jeanette. There's different rules of thumb. Some people say as long as you can support the bike upright, your feet don't have to be flat footed. I know myself, unless I can sit on a bike flat footed, I'm not comfortable. In a situation, if you're on uneven ground and whatnot, you need to be able to support that bike and whatnot. There's different people, different riders, different schools will tell you different things. And I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody what's right or wrong. You have to be able to do what's comfortable for you, and feel comfortable and confident. Like I said, for me, I like to be able to sit when I'm stopped, I like to be able to be flat-footed. That's just my comfort zone. Some people don't mind if they're on their tippy toes a little bit. And if you're a shorter person, sometimes it's hard to find a bike that you can sit flat-footed on. A lot of people put lowering kits on motorbikes to get the seat position lower. But the biggest thing is, once again, is just whatever you're comfortable with, and to know that you can handle that bike regardless of what the situation is.
Yeah, no, good advice there. What about roads that have sand and gravel on them or bumpy roads with potholes? Any advice for riding over that?
This again just goes right back to experience
Mm.
and confidence. You know, if you I grew up on a farm. I grew up riding on gravel roads. I never rode a paved road on a motorbike until I was over 18 years old. So I'm comfortable on gravel because that's what I grew up on. Some people, with their whatever their knowledge level is, their ability level is, just don't want to avoid sand and gravel altogether. But again, the biggest thing is just taking your time and being aware of your surroundings and watching, especially this time of the year, watching for the sand and gravel in on the shoulders or in the corners, and because a small amount of sand or gravel can put a bike down really quickly. So just taking your time, take it slow, just be aware, and always be looking around and seeing what your surroundings are.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then what about conditions that are similar to right outside of your truck there? We're looking at kind of wet, foggy, icky conditions. Hopefully, no one's out riding their motorcycle, but it happens, especially if you're on a long road trip, right? You can't
Well,
predict
yeah,
always.
the elements. I mean, you're going to run into them if you enjoy long haul and riding long trips, you're going to run into the elements. Once again, this just goes back to experience and confidence. If you're comfortable riding in the rain, there's the proper gear, and as long as your bike is equipped, windshield, um, proper tires, good tires, riding in the rain isn't an issue as long as you're equipped properly and confident and knowledgeable and comfortable in the atmosphere and the surroundings you're riding in. Having said that, there is a limit. I mean, you got to know what your limits are. When it gets to that point where you're not feeling confident and safe anymore, maybe it's time to pull over.
Hmm.
But with the proper equipment, the proper equipment on your bike, the proper gear for the rider to wear, you can ride in the weather regardless of what it is.
Yeah. What about night riding? That likely presents a few more challenges.
Night riding is definitely an individual thing. For the most part, we try to stay away from it. Sometimes it's inevitable, though. Biggest thing here again is your motorcycle equipment. Having the proper lighting, the proper eyewear for the rider at night, and just being aware of where you're at, because night riding in the prairies can be completely different than night riding in the mountains. So, you just got to assess the situation where you're at. Uh, you got to look ahead and think about what you're riding into. And sometimes it's inevitable. Sometimes it has to be done. I've ridden a lot of miles in the dark. You know, Most of the times you slow down and you're just a lot more alert and a lot more aware.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, we are living in the times right now where EVs are becoming the talk everywhere. So now there are electric motorcycles and scooters out there. So one disadvantage is that they're not only hard to see, but they're also hard to hear, as is any EV. So any thoughts on this?
Well, you saying it the way you did just makes me think of the old adage, loud pipe saves lives, right? Part of the reason motorbikes, have loud mufflers or loud pipes on them is, to catch people's attention. The EVs, like you said, don't do that. They all have their place. Not for me. Some people love them. A lot of the manufacturers are looking at them and building them right now. I'm not sure how well they're really taking off, but completely different approach when it comes to riding again. So I'm sure as time goes on, they'll be more and more prevalent. And I've actually heard of accessories that you can get to make them sound louder
Oh,
and sound like a motorbike with
like
an
a
actual
regular one. Yeah.
carbureted engine on it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the EV world affects the
And
motorcycle
evolves
industry.
into that, that's for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so really quickly, because we're almost out of time here, what would you say to a viewer who would like to take up motorcycling? How do you get started? Who should you talk to?
Find a friend. Find a friend that's got a motorbike, or, come out to one of our events and wander around, look at the bikes, talk to people. If you've never been on a bike and you want to jump on the back, there's always somebody that'll let you jump on the back seat and go for a little ride. And before you jump in, make sure you know that you're confident that's what you want to do. Um, like I said, come out to one of our events. There's events in Lethbridge. There's multiple motorcycle clubs in Lethbridge that are doing different events every night of the week. There's always somebody going for a ride. But find a friend that's got a friend, or find somebody that's got a motorbike. Talk to them about it. Go for a ride and decide what direction you want to go.
Okay, great. Some good advice there, Dallas. Thanks so much for being with us today. Really appreciate having you on.
Thank you, Janet. We appreciate your time, and just hope all the riders have a great riding season. And we look forward to seeing a bunch of them out this weekend.
Yeah, and stay safe for sure. Dallas Harty is the president of Southern Alberta Bikers. I'm Jeanette Roche on behalf of all of us here at Bridge City News. Thanks so much for watching.